Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode on the Glory Reds podcast. It's your boy, Don Benito, and today I have the match reaction for you. Arsenal versus Manchester United. First, I want to give a shout out to all the fans that stayed up late to watch that game. You know what? That game was very, very interesting, I must say. And there's a lot of talking points in that game that we need to bring up to you. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, let's jump straight into it. Manchester United suffered a 2-1 defeat to Arsenal. I mean, that scoreline doesn't even come close to talking about how that game panned out. Because, first of all, the first goal that Arsenal scored, the equalizer, was a lie. It was a fucking offside. VAR, there was no VAR in that game, which I totally understand. You know, it's the preseason, you know. I mean, it wasn't a goal. Like, these guys can say all they want. They can talk about, like, we can talk until the cows come home. But that first goal that Gabriel Jesus scored was not a goal. It was offside. So let me just get that clear because, you know, moving forward, I don't want people thinking, but Arsenal beat Manchester United. How can you be talking like this? Nah. That score was supposed to be 1-1 because, yes, Gabriel Martinelli came in second half and did his thing. He scored the equalizer. Not the equalizer. He scored the winner, but that should have been the equalizer. Now, first things first, I couldn't help but notice that in the first half of this bloody game, and so much for going on these American tours. Oh, we're going to America because we're going to America. We're going to LA because of the sun and because of the weather, because of this nonsense. Rubbish. You're going there and you're playing on piss poor pitches. Like this Sophie Stadium was supposed to be, I don't know, one of the best stadiums out there in America, blah, blah, blah. Man, how many injuries did we pick up in the first half? Our new signing, Euro, we are still yet to find out what's going on with him. And I'm pissed off. Rasmus Højlund picked up an injury. Ahmad. Wait, and you know what? Can we say something? Was it me or were the Arsenal players taking a piss? Like, they were kicking, like, I didn't get it. But that pitch, that first half was not good. The whole artificial turf thing, that thing almost costed us a lot of the players. And I don't even understand why that was not rectified. We keep on talking and going on about, oh no, we're going on the American tour and we're going to do this. There's fuck all in America. Fuck all. Like, you look at that pitch yesterday. If we, like, I wouldn't have been surprised if we had like 5 players injured yesterday because of that stupid ass pitch in that those guys were playing on yesterday. Now, I know I'm maybe taking that too much on the pitch, but then what is the point of preseason? What is the point of these preparations? We are preparing for the league, right? Why are these guys not taking into account all these situations with the pitch and all? Why are they not doing their due diligence and making sure that we don't get silly problems like that? I don't know what the state of Rasmus Højlund and Euro's injuries are and everybody else that picked up little knocks. But those things could have been worse. Do you understand where I'm going with this? Those situations could have been worse. And we sit here and we're just like, we're going on the American tour. Oh, listen, I get it. But I was really, really annoyed by that yesterday. And I don't know. Like, I would be very, very disappointed if we get somebody that has got a serious injury or a potential serious injury because of yesterday's game. Honestly, I'm not going to be happy about that. But you know what? Enough of that. Let me get into the game, you know, because there were lovely, lovely, lovely bits of piece of skills from players. There was a lot of, you know, when I was watching the game, I couldn't help but think, wow, is this Manchester United? These 1-2 moving up, you are not, it was just beautiful. It was beautiful. So the first goal was scored by Rasmus Højlund. You know, it was a ping over, I think, by Rashford. I don't know if it was Rashford or somebody. Somebody pinged him a nice ball. He took it on his stride, went on into the box. And you know what? This is what I like my strikers to do. This is what I've been waiting for Rasmus Højlund to do even last season. Because there were moments like this last season where he could have done that, but he didn't do it. But those powerful runs, because what he did yesterday with that defender was amazing. It was a small thing, but it was amazing. Because he took the defender on, he didn't give the defender space, and he just kept on running and running, using his power, bulldozing his way into that box and firing. That was a striker goal, and I was very, very, very pleased with him. Very, very, very pleased with him. Onana. What's his name? He was so good yesterday. A couple of saves there and there. Yeah, I mean, the penalty shootout, he tried to be like Debu, but man, Debu is Debu. There will not be another Debu. There is no other shithousery goalkeeper in the world like Debu. And Onana has the personality, yeah, but he's not Debu. The whole antics he was trying to do kind of made me cringe, but I was happy to see that he's got personality. I was happy to see that he was trying to put these players off, because he needs to do that, He needs to do that. Now, I know I skipped, but I needed to give him a shout out before, So let me start with the starting lineup. Onana started in goals. In defense, we had Euro and Maguire. Left back, we had Amas. Right back, we had Wan-Bissaka. In the middle of the park, we had Casemiro and Collier. And then our attacking midfielders, we had Mason Mount, Ahmad, Rashford, and up top we had Rasmus Højlund. That was a very good setup. Very, very nice setup. I enjoyed it. But again, another thing that the gaffer mentioned in his press conference, he talked about Rashford. He believes Rashford is going to have the season that he had last season. Listen, I don't see it. I mean, I don't know what Rashford is going to have to do to change the narrative and change how people think about him, but he's still the same old Rashford. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't see anything special about him. Yeah, it's because we expect so much from these players, but I didn't see much in terms of pressing. Like in the first half, I looked at Mason Mount. Mason Mount was pressing like his life depended on it. Ahmad was pressing. Who else? Rasmus Højlund was pressing. I didn't feel like Rashford was pressing enough. I don't know. And he was playing on the left-hand side with Amas. So that was a kind of like I don't want to say it was this new situation, but Amas, if there is a left back that we're looking, like if we're trying to look for a left back, can we stop? Like, I know we're linked to Mazraoui, but Mazraoui looks like he's going to be the right back option for us. He can play left back, but already in that left back position, think about it this way. We have, I don't want to say the Butcher, but the Butcher can if need be, because he's a left-footed center back. He can play that position. I'm sure he can. But we have the Butcher, we have Roberto Carlos, we have Malacia, we have Amas, and I think we have Johnny Evans. And that left-footed side. You know what I mean? So, Tyrell Malacia right now is still injured. We don't know how long he's going to take to come back, right? Luke Shaw is on a break. He's taking his time, which is so strange because Luke Shaw spent most of the season not playing. He goes on tournament. He doesn't really play so many games. I think he plays the final, and then he needs rest. Like, if there's one person that should have been back at Carrington, it's Luke Shaw. So I don't understand. But anyway, it's cool. Let him rest. But Luke Shaw, right? So we have that situation going on. Then you look at Amas, and then you look at Murray. Like, that left-footed, that left side, that left foot back, we have it on lock. And I want us to encourage, because we're the one team that doesn't really trust players. It was last season where we did trust Kobe Mainoo, where we did trust Rasmus Højlund. You know what I mean? Trusting 18-year-olds, like 17-year-olds, like, we don't do that. And this is the chance. This is the time, because Amas is ready. We said this about Greenwood. We said this about Ahmad. We said this about Garnacho. We said this about Main. We said this about a lot of players who are knocking at the door that should be in. And Amas is somebody that we need to start integrating fully into the Manchester United starting. Like, that boy is a gem. That, hey, Amas, I don't know. I don't like, he's technically gifted on that ball. He is tenacious. He, I, I don't know. I don't know. Amas is special. Amas and Murray, those boys are special. But Amas has got this. He's got this thing. Amas has got this. He's got extra. Amas has extra. He's got that South American flair to him, and then he's got that. No, he's powerful. He's a powerful young lad, and I like him. I like him, and that boy deserves it. Collier, another midfielder in Manchester United that's going to make waves this season. He was doing his box to box. Man, guys, Manchester United is almost back, because I kid you not, these kids are so good. Now, the reason why I keep on going on about the kids and stuff like that is because, you know what? You look at Man City. Man City they deployed Rico Williams. You remember when Rico Williams was now bursting into the scene, right? That small, when he burst into the scene, that kid never looked back. And he was young. I think he was 16, 17, 18. They trusted him and they let him play, and these kids develop. And I think we are at that stage at Manchester United where we need to do that, where we need to trust these kids. And I am all about trust. I trust Amaz. I trust Collier. Like, I can't wait to see when everybody else comes back, because oh my God. But other than that, everybody else was good. Rashford was a little bit dodgy. Mason Mount was looking crisp. He is a pressing monster. Mason Mount was doing the business. He was doing the things the reason why we bought Mason Mount, he showed it yesterday. He was all over these guys. Ahmad again just continued his stellar form. Listen, Ahmad is making the right, he's making his right CV or resume, whatever you want to call it. Like, he's preparing it well, because this season he has got so many like, Ahmad starts next season. He does. He can come off the bench, I understand, but Ahmad, are you kidding? Are you kidding? He picked up a little knock there that scared me, but I was very, very pleased with his performances. I'm very, very happy with the way everything turned out yesterday. The second half was good. We held on to these guys. We didn't give them much, even though they ended up scoring that second goal, but we didn't give them much that game was a stalemate. And I can't help but think the Arsenal fans were like, oh, is this Man United? And it wasn't even the full squad. Like, this is not even everybody back. No. And we are playing football the way we were playing. I was impressed. I really, 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 really was impressed. Another player that I was impressed with is Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He's going, he's leaving, and I need to give him a big, big shout out, because Wan-Bissaka is showing a level of professionalism that I, weirdly enough, didn't expect from him. Because I just thought he was a cool guy. Like, I never thought too much of Wan-Bissaka other than him being an amazing right back. But his personality and his character, I guess maybe I mix them up. I mix the spider, and then I don't really get them. But he is really handling this preseason with grace, and I really, really appreciate that, because for somebody who's been linked to Inter, who's been linked to Fenerbahce, Galatasaray, and he's on preseason tour, his mind could be like, listen, I don't want to get injured because I need to find a club. You understand? His mind could have been completely out of it, but I am pleased to say that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is doing the business. And the more I keep seeing him play, the more I keep wondering why we want to get rid of him. But I do get it. I get it. I mean, Mazraoui is a different kind of, I get it. But it's still like, why? Can't we waste money somewhere else? Can't we put money somewhere else? Because you look at the way Boy is playing, man, he is playing. But I guess we need something different, right? Manchester United want something different, want to take us to a different whatever. I don't know. But yeah, yesterday's game, Casemiro looked. Yeah, Casemiro, and this is a very biased and it's a personal opinion. I don't really like to shit on my legends, especially the big boys, the guys that, the Casemiros. Like, for example, the Casemiro. Like last season. Last season, I wasn't shitting on Casemiro. Yeah, there were a couple of games where I'm like, but that was just because I was agreeing with the gram. Like, I was going with what everybody was going with. But personally, I know his qualities. And for me, like, that's why I'm even surprised we're trying to get rid of Casemiro. Because you have his leadership and his experience. You put it in that team. And he's been donning the captain's armband since, I don't know, like, he's been our captain this preseason. Like, he's doing captain things. Like, I don't understand why we want to get rid of him. Like, Casemiro, I get it. He's on a lot of money. We need to chop that wage bill. We need to bring... I get it. But, hey, it's a big loss. It's a really, really big loss. And yesterday, Casemiro was Casemiro. I cannot say... I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, Casemiro did that. No, Casemiro was just Casemiro. Putting in tackles, looking a little bit heavy, but I think that's just how he is. Casemiro has never been that fast CDM. I don't know why people are now going in on Casemiro about his speed. You look at Busquets. You look at Rodri. Rodri's not even that fast as well. You look at a lot of these defensive midfielders, they're not very, very fast. So I don't know why this pressure has been put on Casemiro all of a sudden that he needs to be like Bolt in the midfield. No! That guy uses this. He uses his dome to diffuse stuff. So I'm not really tripping much about it. But like I said, there were a lot of good performances, especially from players that could not be here next season. You know what I mean? Harry Maguire had a very good game yesterday. Casemiro was all right. Wan-Bissaka was stellar. These are three players that are on the chopping block that could be going. And then there's the second half that came on with Rashford, Bennett, Murray, Odeyele, Anthony, Sancho, Wheatley. You know what? I thought that because, okay, that second team that came on was, yes, it dropped in quality with Eriksen in there, but it wasn't that bad. It really, really wasn't that bad because we held Arsenal right up until they scored that win or whatever that was. Until they did, and then we went on. But other than that, we held them. And you know what? There's a certain player that I've been shitting on, or somebody that would be like, oh, he needs to go. Listen, Sancho played well. Sancho did the business yesterday, and I was pleased. I was impressed. I mean, it's not enough to move me, be like, oh, Sancho's performance yesterday is like, okay, now it's done. No more talking about Sancho. Sancho stays. Kumbaya. Everything is good. No. I was pleased to see him play very well, which is what you expect from Jadon Sancho. We don't expect anything less from Jadon Sancho, especially. Yesterday, he was good. He was taking on players. He was doing the business. Wasn't enough. I need more. He's got a lot of making up to do. So again, when you add all of those things, it just it makes it look like Jadon Sancho didn't really have a good game, but he did. He did. He had a very enjoyable 45 minutes. I enjoyed watching him. Even Christian Eriksen. Christian Eriksen was... I don't know where he summoned Modric or I don't know. He summoned some spirit yesterday, and that spirit was on Eriksen. This guy was putting in crosses that we are hoping that we're gonna be seeing them in the Premier League this coming season. God, took the game by the balls and they were playing. I was pleased. I was pleased. Yes, we lost the game. We won the penalties. But again, if I defuse it again, Arsenal, the first goal that they scored, that was an offside. They can talk and talk until the cows come home. That was not a goal. That was not a goal. And nobody's going to change my mind. No one. I saw it with my eyes. I watched the replays. You guys were lucky VAR was not there. That was not a goal. So to me, that game ended 1-1, which means Arsenal didn't win. But when we go to the penalties, we beat Arsenal. We did. We beat Arsenal 4-3 in penalties, which was, was weird. I don't know if people were taking the penalties seriously, but they were. And people missed. Onana saved. And here we are. Manchester United 1, Arsenal 2. Thank you, everybody, for watching the catch-up show. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment on our page so that we can get back to you and we can engage and have some conversations. It's your boy, Benito. Peace.